Hi and welcome back to David Tom Creations channel. This week I am doing another two videos. I have done already posted one with some previews of my new WaveState presets, and that is available to buy on the DT store. And I will leave a link in the description to that video as well. So what I thought I'd do today was have a look at using the editor Librarian to create performances rather than using the screen. So because I have, since I've had this, which hasn't been that long, I have really been mainly using the screen to do the work. So I thought I'd spend a bit more time looking at this. So you've got the editor and the Librarian. So you can see that is my own preset packs there. So the editor has basically most of the controls that are available on the actual hardware synth. So you have the 4 layers. So this is preset 8 knob filter sequence. So you can see there's layer A and then there's layer B. And you can see that layer A is the mod wheel waveform. So you can see the program, the oscillator, and the timing lane are all mod wheel waveforms. And layer B is timekeeper, and simple shaker. So if we, so you've got that, and then and you can see that obviously layer C and layer D are empty. So as you probably know, if you've got a WaveStation, there are kind of 3 ways that you can create performances. You can either start with an init program. So if you turn the knob anti-clockwise, it goes to init performance. So we can enter that. And then you can start bringing in programs and oscillators to the 4 layers. And then obviously you can take a existing performance by either WaveState or one of mine, and then adapt that by going in and changing the programs in the layers or swapping them out for sequences or multisamples. And then the third version is to use the randomize button and create a randomized performance. And then again, if you're not happy with that, which most of the time it's not perfect, you go in and then adjust the programs and the samples in the layers as well. So that's kind of the main three ways of creating performances. So, and some things are easier in the editor and some things are easier on the hardware. For instance, changing the key zones is a lot easier in the editor because there's quite a lot of shift clicking to get through to the 4 key zones, and even just changing the volume on the layers. This is a lot quicker than having to go in and shift click along to the layer that you want, because you can just switch between the layers. And also, so this is your keyboard setup. So you've got the master volume, and then you've got your layer volumes here. So so this is the standard, as you probably know in it. So you can adjust that there. And then you've got the LFOs, the envelopes, the key tracking mod process, and the effects. So it's a lot quicker, I think, as well. You can go into mod effects, and then that, because there is a lot of mod effects, as you can see. So I think it's sometimes a bit quicker to use this than the hardware. I don't know. I mean, it's a, you know, it's good to have this, but I mean, technically you should be able to do everything via the screen, because it is a standalone sort of performance piece of hardware. but like I said, sometimes there is quite a bit of menu diving once you start to go in and editing things like the key zones, velocity zones, and also the timing lanes as well. It's actually a lot quicker to just, I think, adjust the timing lanes and the loop ends sometimes, like I said, in here as well. So, like I said, I'm going to show you how to create a new performance from scratch. And like I said, there are 3 different windows, as it were. The main ones are, so you've got your, so these are all your actual programs. So yeah, so you've got all these programs, like I said, that you're probably aware of. And then we can go back to init and select that. And then you've got your wave sequences. So you can either set this to single multisample or wave sequence. So if we click on wave sequence and go into here, again, you've got another whole list of and there's presets, and they're split into tempo and time. So we can go to say a peaceful sequence. Right, so we could have the these tech cats on this, and then you can also add in so the timing lane is fast blowing colors, so we can change that as well. So we'll leave it on fast blowing colors because obviously that works a bit better. So like I said, you can go in and change all these. Plus then we can bring in, so we could bring in a sub as well. So we could change that to right, let's just do that. We'll keep that. Right, we'll select that. So we'll go to layer B, we'll switch layer B on, and then instead of using that, we'll go and create use a single multi-sample. So this is completely different because you see like all this controls disappear because you can't really do an awful lot with the multi-samples. They are just an actual sample rather than a wave sequence. So it kind of always starts off with the acoustic piano. So we could we'll keep that. We'll keep a grand piano. There isn't actually an awful lot of pianos and keys. I have to say, it's not. Right, we'll stick with a grand. And then what we can do is we can adjust the now to adjust the cutoff. I kind of tend to use the keyboard, and you can see the cutoff moving up here. So it is actually quicker to adjust the knobs on the and the resonance. Right, so adjust a bit of this attack to key, and this is a lot easier to do, adjusting the attack and delay. So if we go to where will it be? Yeah, this screen. You can see it's adjusting the filter here, and it's a lot quicker just to do this. And release using the knobs, I think. Right, let's see this. Better. So like I said, combining this and the actual keyboard itself is quite a good way to go. And let's say we can take the volume down a wee bit on that. And that is just a lot quicker, because like I said, to get to the volume, you've got to, you know, fanny about getting through about 3 different screens. Because that is only using that one sample. So if we go to, we can adjust that. Sampling, and it's going now to. So you could have done that like there, or just drag these along. So the top one is the loop end, and the bottom one is the sample. So you can actually have them at different positions. It's better on a longer one, so I'll find a longer one. So that's now using the unison saw and the hard EP. So you can hear it coming in there. So it doesn't actually sound that great. So we'll just take that back. We'll just take that back down and delete that. Right, so layer C, let's go and put layer C on, and let's try a wave sequence. And what could we have? Choir. Oh, keyboard's going to get. Right, bear with me. Let's have a look. We go to, so we're in the time modes. Let's have. What's that one? Sometimes it's difficult to hear these. Right, that's a bit boring. Let's try, let's go up to tempo whispers pad. Hang on, right. So we can see that's a bit more going on here. Right, so you can see that is detuned, so none of these are actually working. Right, so we can click on random order for the. Or we can go to forward for the sample. So just going forward, and then you can. We'll switch on random. Right, we'll switch the other layers back on and see what's cooking. Right, so that's quite cool. So I think I'll we'll save that. Or we could put in another layer. Let's put in another layer. Right, so what can we put in? We'll put in a program. Let's go to drums. Stick in some drums. Or tech hats. Let's try some. Right, so what we can do is we can, for layer D, which is what I normally do, I'll adjust the key zone so the drums are only going to come in the bottom. Normally I do G2, yeah. So until I can play the rest of it, and then I'll switch these off quicker. Right, C3. There we go. Right, take up to C3. Oh, maybe not. Let's do it. Right, so that's the last kind of 4 keys. Right, so we can play that on its own. And we can bring in these other ones. So I can play. And then just bring the drums in. That is not the greatest one I have ever done. Okay, and as usual, like and subscribe if you are enjoying these videos, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.